Hello everybody and welcome to Awesome Epic Guys with Zwhatsh and me. So apparently tier lists are a relevant topic as of today, August 2019. Or maybe it's not, maybe I'm just late for this crap, but I don't care. So I'm here today to make a World of Tanks tier 6 tier list. And you might ask, why tier 6? And that is because I feel like tier 6 in World of Tanks is the most rememberable and most played tier in World of Tanks. I feel like most players actually come back or stay at tier 6, and also I think tier 6 contains the most interesting and funny and meme-tastic vehicles in the game. Before we start, this tier list is gonna be based on 1. My own opinion, 2. It's just gonna be my opinion, lol. So, here we are, at all the tier 6 tanks in the game, and a juicy tier list to fill in with all these tanks. Let's go from the bottom to the top. So we start at F, and F is obviously gonna fit all of the artillery pieces, because, you know, artillery. I don't mean any harm to any artillery players, but artillery is annoying, okay? I could be a little bit nice and put Bert in E, because Bert has some mean value and actually requires some keyboard usage to play. Okay, so continuing with E, I would put some rather uninteresting tanks here, like Shermans. There we go. E, Sherman and Bert tier. Okay. So before all the Sherman lovers start throwing potatoes at me, the Shermans ain't bad, okay? They're fine vehicles, but I just think there are too many of them. If they were more unique to each vehicle, I would gladly scatter them around all the tiers, you know. However, I will do this. The Firefly is actually pretty nice. It has a very thick and long gun, which I really enjoy. So, E, Sherman tier, and the Firefly ends up in the D. I don't think we're done with either E or D, to be honest. I feel like Chinese 5916, it had some pretty strong meme value when it was really bad and had like a terrible gun. But now it's just a Chinese light tank, one of the crowd, part of the crew, part of the ship. It ain't very interesting, so I'll put this tank in E. I mean, it's a decent tank, but it ain't very interesting in my opinion. The German light tank, the VK, this tank was more valuable back in the day. Nowadays it's not as relevant anymore, I'd say. But I think it holds a pretty strong D position in this tier list. Oh, I forgot one Sherman. There you go. Just more proof on that there's too many Shermans, dude. The A43, I think it is. Very underrated tank. I think it's a decent machine actually, but very overlooked due to obvious reasons. It's not very interesting at all actually, but I'd say it's more interesting than the 5916. I will put it in D, as you should check it out right now. And then we have the T21. I'm gonna be honest here, I have never set my foot in this vehicle ever, and I never ever see any of these vehicles do good either. So to me, this tank is just completely uninteresting in every aspect. You go and E, my boy. I'm sorry, dude. And then we have the other American light tank, T37, which I find to be a very cool looking tank, and I think it's decent as well. So I think it deserves a place in the D tier. Then we have the Nashorn, which is the little brother of the Sturrer Emil. I've played the Sturrer Emil. I really enjoy the gun of that vehicle. I think the Sturrer Emil has some meme value to it. However, the Nashorn, on the other hand, never played it. I never see it do any good. I'm gonna place it in D for interesting, but probably has a good gun. Dicker Max, on the other hand, It has a really nice D. However, I don't think I'm gonna place it in the tier of D. I think it deserves at least a C. Dicker Max is a very good vehicle. The view range is epic. The gun depression is meme-tastic, and the gun is very punchy. I recommend it a lot. C as in solid. Then we have the Czech non-autoloader premium tank, which I find to be very uninteresting. It's a Czech though. Usually you don't see many Czechs around the battlefield. And I kinda like hipsters going around in their underplayed tanks. To be honest, I'm not even sure if it's good or not. I would assume it's a little bit worse than the Tech Tree counterpart, which has an autoloader, but I'll place it in D. For a little bit interesting, but pretty crap. And the Tech Tree variant, which has an autoloader, is a pretty fun tank. I played it a few times with Edwin, and it's very nice. And you don't see much of them on the battlefield, so it's a nice, funny hipster tank. And I'd say it's a decent tank as well. Let's finish the light tanks, shall we? So we have the bathtub-looking Russian MT-25, which used to have the most meme-tastic gun in the entire game. If you haven't watched that video, you should check it out. We have it on our channel. It's called MT-25 MLG Autoloader Compilation. But nowadays, this tank is pretty sad. It's thick looking, so that's a plus, I guess. It looks pretty funny. But gameplay wise, T50-2 on the other hand, very fast, very memey, and very nice. Not much else to say really. AMX-12T has a very funny autoloader, sneak shiki-briki. It's a fun tank to play. It was my first mid-tier light tank, I think. And it's kind of memey as well. It looks like a little toy car running around. So I'd place it at C as well. And its wheeled counterpart, the AMD, meme values galore. I wouldn't say it's good though, but it's stronger in the meme department. We do have one more light tank waiting in the queue, but we'll get to that one later. Some tank destroyers maybe. I'd say the weakest of all tier 6 tank destroyers, either the IKV or the ARL. I'd say the ARL has some more meme value to it. I'm gonna place the IKV and D, the IKEA tank, the IKEA box. It's kind of just a dull tank, in my humble opinion. Then we have Ruski SU-100 Blyet, very strong tank, 390 Alpha, the thickest of all the tier 6 tank destroyer guns, except for one other Russian tier 6 tank destroyer, which we'll talk about in a bit. I'd place this one in C for solid, good tank, and its Chinese brother I will place at the same side. Very underrated tank. I actually loved this machine. It's very good. Play it. Play it. Another solid tank is the No? I need to go with that. The Shito, also very solid. The armor is crap, but the gun is... the gun handling is really good, really good. Solid tank. I loved it. And then we have the Then we have the Jackson and the Achilles. They have some mobility and they have turrets on tank destroyers, which is good, but I didn't really enjoy playing them much, to be honest. They're solid. And then the Hellcat, the good old Hellcat, which used to be like the Seal Clubber's wet dream back in the day. Probably was up at S tier, up there with the KV-1S. But nowadays, I'd say it's a solid vehicle. It can do things. It can carry games if it wants to. And then we have the VKs, or the Panthers, I'd say, which I'd like to place in B, because these vehicles are amazing in my opinion. I don't have the Breton Panther, but it would be right here. Great rammers, the gun is good enough, the accuracy and the aim time is kinda meh, but it's very good for brawling, and it's just an epic rush tank. If you play this tank in a platoon and just rush and ram your enemies, it's gonna be a good time. Also, oh curva! And then we have the Tigers. They're really good. I feel like the Tiger 131 is like the Tiger 1, but slightly better tier for tier, to be honest. I feel like the armor kind of works better at this tier, and the DPM is pretty delicious. B for Blyet. Speaking of Blyet, the box tank. Meme-tastic tank. Need I say more? The Churchill 7. Now, why would I place such a poopy tank in B? Well, the tank is slow, the armor is irrelevant, the gun is, I mean, it's decent, but it's nothing to having a party about, you know. But I have very good memories in this tank. You can pull off some really funny stuff with this vehicle. The Churchill 7 is like the tip of an iceberg, hiding so much underneath the surface. I kinda love this vehicle, even though it sucks. It's the tank I have the highest experience in one game in, so you can pull off some pretty funny stuff with this vehicle, believe it or not. So I'm gonna place it in B, okay? There's no judging this tier list, okay? This is the one and only tier list. Good. Perfect. Let's carry on. And then we have some SpaghettiOs. It's a good tank. What can I say? The gun is good, the armor is surprisingly good for a medium, and it's Italian. Spaghetti. I feel like we have missed some vehicles that could easily go into C. VK. Solid vehicle, good alpha, decent mobility, not much to say about it. Jagdpanzer, you can pull off some crazy stunts with it. It's not great, it's not bad, it's a solid tank destroyer. VK, good gun, below average armor, but the gun is very good so you can work around with it. Solid. Another VK. To be honest, I actually have a hard time placing this tank. The only experience I have with this tank is just killing it. I have never seen anybody do good in this vehicle. So, with that in mind, I might actually pull you down here, buddy. Sorry. The M6. I mean, it's American heavy. Mid-tier American heavy. It's not the T-29. What can it do? It can shoot, and it might occasionally do the ding-ding. But, you know, I won't guarantee it, so you're at C for solid. It can work things around at times, but another time you might not do anything at all. That's my review of the M6. Thank you. KV-85. Good old KV-1S. From absolute broken Jesus Christ tank to decent tank, I guess. It's balanced. Can you believe it? A balanced Russian heavy tank? Crazy. Only reason why people complain that this tank is bad is because it's not overpowered. People are so used with overpowered Ruski tanks that when it's actually balanced, they complain that it's underpowered. It's balanced! Can you believe it? It's actually balanced. Let's carry on. I actually love how this tank looks. It's a very beautiful vehicle. And I don't only say that because I'm a Swedish person, because I actually genuinely think that it's a good looking vehicle. Can I say that? Without sounding too patriotic. Gun is good. The gun mantle might do some miracle bounces. The armor is trash. Mobility is mediocre. But it's a solid vehicle. C for solid. Let's carry on. The other Swedish tank, however, I'd say it's a little bit better because it's an autoloader. Me myself is not good with autoloaders, but I see people more frequently doing good with this vehicle. And it's actually kind of common in skirmishes and stuff. It's more commonly used and better. Okay, the Panzer IV Schmalturm. This used to be like the old Panzer IV in the good old days. And now it's a premium. Can you believe it? A premium tank in World of Tanks. That's very uncommon these days. It's a very uncommon tank to see, so I actually have a hard time placing this vehicle anywhere. It doesn't really have meme value at all, but I wouldn't say it's a bad tank. Looking at its stats, it's a decent vehicle. Solid vehicle. Is that fair? I think so. And then we have a Very nice Ruski vehicle, which is called T-150, my comrades. This is probably one of my favorite Ruski heavies in this game. The IS-4 line is pretty bad, but this one is one of the good parts of this line. As a big fan of the KV-5, this is probably one of its younglings, I would say. Strong armor, strong gun, crap mobility. But all in all, a solid Ruski package. Okay, let's talk about the T-34-85s and all of its clones. Okay, so first off, the regular T-34-85, which is this tank. Solid vehicle, very solid I'd say. It's Ruski, it's got a big alpha for its tier, and it's got side skirts and all that Ruski nicey stuff. And it's mobile and it's a solid package. It's a good tank. People use it commonly in skirmishes and stuff when there aren't any T-34-85Ms around, which is the next vehicle we will line up in this tech tree. Here, in the A tier, T-34-85M McDonald's, because it's thick. For some reason, Wargaming decided that it's balanced to just give it its tank straight up more armor and more alpha and more DPM and all that stuff. It's a T-34-85 that's just better in every way. And I will place the Rudy next to it because it has a dog. And dogs are precious. Do not oppose my logic. And then we have the Chinese counterpart, which I will also place in B, because I liked it. I really like this vehicle. Some hate it because of the gun depression, but I think it can make it work. If there was an in-between tier, I would place it right in between here, but I think it's good enough to be placed in B alongside its Ruski brother. Now we have some really juicy vehicles left here, so let's start with the Cromwells. Cromwell, fast, DPM, you name it. It's just the Unicom's wet dream. It has some gun handling problems though, so it's not completely overpowered, I'd say. But the Cromwell B, on the other hand, is kind of overpowered, as it's just a better version of the Cromwell. I will place it in the same tier, however, because it's not S tier, because S tier is just godlike, right? Only gods are allowed into S tier. It's better than the Cromwell, but not good enough for god tier, okay? The 86. Ultra armor, ultra DPM, thick tonk, slow as crap, but we don't care about that. We got like 5 billion millimeters of armor and good DPM, okay? Don't at me. Then we have the ARL V39. Solid A tier, because it's crap, okay? But it's crap in a good way. It has a pay-to-win gun, which has more pen and alpha damage with the APCR rounds. The gun selections are really nice on this vehicle, and it looks dumb as f***. A completely stock configuration of this vehicle is probably the worst stock configuration in the entire game. So it has all the good stuff, from really good pay-to-win aspects to like the really worst aspects of the game. And it looks dumb, and it's French. It's just mwah. Oui. ARL V39 people, it's up there. Don't at me. ARL 44. This tank shares the same gun as the ARL V39, the pay-to-win gun. So that's my review of this vehicle. A tier. And then we have the OI. What can I say? It's giant. It's the tomato's wet dream. You can go around and one-shot kill people without taking any damage back. However, as soon as you face higher tier vehicles and tanks with like more than 175 pen, you're gonna have a nightmare playing this tank, but you know, it's a Japanese heavy. What can I say? It's A tier. And then we have the Type 64, which I referred to a long time ago when we were talking about light tanks. And this is hands down the best tier 6 light tank in the game. Everybody knows that this tank is just good, okay? No questions asked. And then we have the Excalibur. It looks dumb and it has epic DPM. What more can I say? Dick tank. It's a dick on a tank. The gun is good and it's one of the strongest memes on our entire channel. Another tank that is very strong in its meme value is the KV2. KV2 I want you in the front runners of the A tier. It's the king of derp. Cannot oppose the forces of a KV2 HE shell. It's just a meme machine. Stalin guides its shells and it's Ruski and it's everything. It's the king of tier 6. Alongside the Tog. The HMS Tog. The slowest vehicle in the game. It's huge. It's beautiful. It's everything. The king and queen of tier 6. And we still have one more here. It's the KV2R. It would share the same spot as KV2R, but I will ignore putting it anywhere because I don't care about the KV2R. However, we still have the god of tier 6 left. And as you can see, apart from the KV2R, there's only one vehicle left to be placed in this tier. Which is, of course, the Churchill Game Carrier. I mean, it wins every game. What can I say? There's no other tank that has right to be in this tier. The god tier. So, thank you guys for watching. This is the official tier 6 tier list. There is no other tier list that is better or more legit than this tier list, okay? So when your friends ask you, what tier 6 tank should I play? Which ones are most competitive? Then you just refer them to this video and make them look at my tier list. And then they will know. Oh, okay, thank you so much, buddy. I will play these tanks with my skirmish friends. And then you have made somebody happy. And that is Zwhatsh signing off for today. Thanks for watching. And if you like this, please do a comment down below. Like the video, maybe subscribe even. And if you'd like Edwin to do one of these in another tier, maybe a tier 8 World of Tanks tier list, I don't know. Then also let us know that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.